I sort of encountered him a few times. First of all, when I was an undergraduate at the college I was part. So in Cambridge University, you're as a student you're assigned to a college, which is a bit like an old religious institution in a way. But they're basically like these kind of communities with their own buildings. They're kind of separate mini universities within the university almost, and that's where a lot of your teaching happens. It's where you live. It's where you have dinner. And every evening you have, it's a bit like Harry Potter. You have this big meal in an oak beamed hall with long tables. And at the end of the hall, there's a high table where all the fellows, so the senior members of the college, the professors sit. And Stephen Hawking was a member of the college. So you quite often see him at dinner. Sometimes you see him like trundling through the courtyards, like in his wheelchair. And he used to actually, he had quite sort of mischievous sense of humor. He used to try to run undergraduates over when he saw them. He'd kind of accelerate towards you. So that was my first like brush with him, although I never really spoke to him, or because he was in the maths department actually, and like a very theoretical physicist, whereas I was studying at the Cavendish, which is the experimental side of things. But later on in life, I kind of came across him a couple of times. One in particular at the Science Museum. For many years, I was a curator at the Science Museum in London. And one day I got a call from our director of communications saying, can you come downstairs to the, like what they call the fellows room, which is kind of like a fancy room where the fun people who give money to the museum can kind of have a cup of tea, basically. And he said Stephen Hawking is visited with his grandchildren. So he turned up with some of his children and his grandchildren. And they were he wanted to go onto the gallery. So the Science Museum is a big museum in the middle of London, thousands of people milling around. And the museum knew that if they let Stephen Hawking go out into the gallery, it was going to cause pandemonium. So they wanted to have some people on hand to kind of manage it. So anyway, while they were doing all of that, they asked me to come down and talk to him because I think Harry's a physicist. He could like talk to Stephen Hawking. So I was kind of put in front of him and just sort of started saying, nice to meet you, Stephen. I was actually I'm at Cambridge as well, and blah, blah, blah. But of course, it takes him quite a long time to respond because he has to sort of select responses almost word by word using this screen. It's very slow. So he's just sort of sitting there staring at you. And I kind of got this sense that he sort of was thinking, who is this idiot that they've put in front of me? So I just kind of gabbled away for a bit. And then eventually his family turned up and I was kind of saved from kind of embarrassing myself. So yeah, I had a few encounters with him, and he was like, obviously an inspirational figure, just in his own right as a scientist, but obviously particularly given the physical challenges he had to overcome as well.